Defence Minister, thank you so much for joining us here on the programme. On a day where we saw Russia effectively launch a series of drones on NATO, Poland has felt under attack in the last 24 hours. I just want to get your reaction to that.
So, thank you so much having me here, asking me these questions and giving me possibility to express our attitude and our situation. So, first of all, we condemn this act of aggression against of Poland, as all of the partners here in Europe, all around the world. It's absolutely terrible. Another one act of aggression, act of military crime against member country of NATO. Unfortunately, during this night, Ukraine was under attack of 415 battle drones from Russia, under attack of 46 cruise missiles and 5 ballistic missiles. 20 of these drones, mostly decoy drones, attacked Polish territory. From my point of view, it was like a signal, not signal, sorry, it was like a try to test member NATO, how NATO will react, how Poland will react, to make measures, how long it will take for a reaction. So this is Russian strategy to be ready for war with NATO, and they continue their doctrine implementation to hold all European countries under sustainable attack in all different domains, in informational, in disinformational, in social, in political, in religious, and now even in military domain, attacking Polish territory.
So you said that the objective of Russia here is to test what NATO will do, what the reaction will be. Are you satisfied so far with how Western allies, NATO, the United States have responded and reacted to this act of, as you say, aggression?
I think that there was more reasons why Russia intentionally attacked Poland. First one was a very pragmatic military reason to measure how it will work. The second was to shift accents and emphasizes from the attacks and military crimes in Ukraine. For the last weeks, Russia makes a huge quantity of war crimes, of crimes of aggression there in Ukraine. They killed children daily and nightly. They killed mother and her child 2 days ago. They have killed 25 persons in Kiev. 4 of them was children. They have killed 21 pensioners in Donetsk region yesterday during our Ramstein meeting room. And it was intentional attack by guided aerial bomb, actually in group of pensioners which were waiting for their pensions. So this is a war crimes, and now Russia shift accents and shift emphasizes of the world community, global community, from these war crimes to the attack on Poland by drone decoys, and now NATO reaction of the alliances now became the #1 topic all around the world. So it's important how Russia manipulates by all of us. First, we can see that Russia has no intention to stop this war. Second, Russia has intention to test how NATO will react, so it means that Russia continues their preparation to possible war with NATO countries. Third, Russia still continue manipulation, not just disinformational technologies, but also shifting accents from one war crime to another war crime, and shifting accents and attention of the world community to another events which are happening.
Defence Minister, you've said that Russia has no intention of ending this war. Donald Trump says that he wants to bring this war to an end, and if Russia doesn't come to the negotiating table, then he will implement the sanctions, although the administration is concerned that if they implement the sanctions, it will derail any kind of peace talks, ceasefire at least. What's your view on that?
We so much appreciate all the efforts of President Trump, of his administration, of all United States nation. We appreciate efforts of European leaders, because it's a really huge effort of all leaders of the free democratic world. Unfortunately, as for now, we can't see any signals from Russian side that they will stop this war. And we understand that we need to act, we need to move into our head, because Putin continue play games, and he just win a little bit more time for continuing of this war, for regrouping, for replacing of his battalions there in Ukraine, regrouping his armies, rearming them, refreshing them. So now we understand that we need continue press on the front line from one side, and we need increase sanction pressure from another side to make this space for manipulation by Putin less and less. And secondary sanctions, sanctions on oil, gas, nuclear fuel, on spare parts for the Russian missiles should be much stronger. And we urge to partners, to European partners, to United States, to implement these strong sanctions on Russia. Only these measures will lead Putin to the negotiations in reality.
So we'll talk about the sanctions and the fact that they have been bypassed for the last 3.5 years since they've been imposed. The West has been drawing in that sanctions toolbox and imposing sanctions. The Biden administration did it, calls for the Trump administration to do it, and yet it hasn't happened. Russia has managed to bypass all of those sanctions. But I want to ask you, do you think President Trump is being naive?
President Trump is absolutely clear in his approach. So he gave Putin possibility to be very open and to stop this war. But President Trump always told that I will give him this possibility, but if not, then I will implement very strong sanctions, very tough sanctions. So we understand that Putin playing games could avoid sanctions, and Russian economy adopt to these sanctions with period of times. Russia seeks and found allies. So we have a war and aggression not from Russian side. Belarus, North Korea, Iran, they have support other countries as an allies in industrial sphere, high technological sphere. So we understand that this war is not only with one Russia. We understand that there is a company of allies, aggressive allies, which are now learning lessons from this aggression in Ukraine, and they are preparing. They increase their production, they share their experience among these countries. They modify all of their equipment. For example, Iranian drones were very primitive in the very beginning. Now it's high technological weaponry, long range, with very high demolition power, and North Korean ballistic missiles. It was absolutely not precise, not effective weaponry in the very beginning. Now it's high precise ballistic missiles which Russia continue use in Ukraine,
and by the
so
way,
on, so on.
But all of these things have happened, and the attacks have escalated at a rate not seen even before the Alaska meeting. So when I ask whether Donald Trump is being naive, he famously said he would end this conflict in 24 hours. It's been 9 months. And you say that he keeps giving Vladimir Putin chances. Do you think he should stop giving Vladimir Putin chances? Because we're now seeing even NATO seeing Russian drones on their territory.
So Ukraine, as no one else in this world, would like to have a peace and would like to stop this war. So this is our real wish to stop this war. But unfortunately, we are a victim. Putin and Russia is aggressor. We understand that this war should stop. There is only two ways. Or we will win on the front line, but Russia is nuclear state. We should understand this. And we understand that on the battlefield, we liberate 50% of our territories.
That's not what Donald Trump is saying. He is indicating that you're losing on the front lines.
No, actually, my president demonstrates to our American partners that we are not losing. We liberate 50%. We shouldn't forget that Crimea were occupied without anyone shot. That Donbas territory were occupied in 2014. So as for now, we lost not so much territories, and we liberate big part of our territories. Now the front line de facto is not moving, and Russia has a huge losses of human power. Russia has a huge losses of techniques. Our deep strikes attacks brings 4% of GDP lost in Russia. So we continue effective defense operations there in Ukraine, but we need or more weaponry or more sanctions to press on Russia and on front line and on economical front.
Do you think at the end of the day, though, Donald Trump is going to strike a deal with Vladimir Putin and you're going to have to accept that you will lose territory?
I think that we need to go to the negotiation table, and actually this is a message from my president, this is a message from President Trump, and we are ready for any possible format, bilateral, trilateral, multilateral.
President Zelensky going to
stop
Moscow?
This war. No, it's impossible. Everyone clearly understands this, and actually it was another one signal from Putin that he is inviting President of Ukraine to Moscow. It was signal that he wouldn't like negotiations in reality. It was absolutely clear for all of the world. So because of this, we continue insist that we are ready for negotiations. We understand that this war could be stopped only on the diplomatic table. We are ready for this. We are very loud about this. But again, there should be a wish from the aggressor side, because aggressor is active and he is continuing his aggression.
It does feel right now like, Ukraine is almost stuck between what the US president will negotiate with the Russians, and you're saying Vladimir Putin has no intention of striking a peace deal of any sort. What will Ukraine do? If you are abandoned by the United States, can you rely wholly on the Europeans?
So, first, all the world, we all understand that it's impossible to negotiate about Ukraine, about victim in this case, without participation of Ukraine. It's impossible to negotiate about European country without Europeans. We understand now that we have very good cooperation between our partners and allies, and yesterday's 30th UDCG meeting, so named Ramstein Group, demonstrates very good coordination and very high unity among partners. United States Secretary Hexet second time participate in Ramstein meeting. All the European fifth ministers of defense, together with Secretary General of NATO, participate personally in yesterday's meeting. All the partners were online. We have very good, very clear and very concrete conversation yesterday during the Ramstein Group.
Do you feel confident?
Absolutely. We go through from words to the concrete actions, and actually this is something what I urge the partners, that we need to stop just political and diplomatical words, negotiations. We need to go to the concrete actions, and now we understand how and what and when all the partners will committed to Ukraine, to each other, to strengthening all of us. Today, during the E5 group meeting, together with ministers of defense of European fifths, we have absolutely another one very clear and very open conversation with closed doors about situation in Poland, about situation in Ukraine, about situation in Europe. And we discussed today's tactics, how should we act, and we discussed strategy, how should we increase our mutual production, how should we share technologies, knowledges, experience, and we will move forward, and this increase our unity.
But Defense Minister, you talked earlier about the problem of manpower that you're saying Russia currently has. There are reports that around 650 men of fighting age are thought to have fled Ukraine. President Zelensky has resisted Western pressure to lower the draft age from 25 to 18, which would add 800,000 potential recruits. And last year he lowered the age for mobilization from 27 to 25, and that was also deeply unpopular. You have a mobilization problem as well.
Absolutely not. So mobilization level in Ukraine for the last 12 months is absolutely sustainable, with a tendency to grow, and we mobilize all needed quantity of personnel to cover all of our losses and to form small reserves. I should say that unfortunately mobilization level in Russia cover their losses, despite the losses 5 times higher than Ukraine has. They cover all of these losses, so for them there is no problem. They lost 1 million persons since the beginning of this war. Half of them were killed, so they continue just firing, burning the people in the fire of war, don't calculating how much do they lost. So this is a challenge, and this is a problem.
And they have the North Koreans supporting them, the Iranians supporting them. Do you feel that their allies are standing with them and yours are issuing statements, making big pledges, but not actually committing in the concrete way that you're asking them to?
The biggest threat for European continent is that Kremlin join their efforts with North Korea. They have 2 million army. They have bad technologies, but now Russia increase technologically their capacities. And as I told, for example, North Korean ballistic missiles now, with support of Russia, became much more precise, much more long distance. And it means that it will, if they will join their efforts, it will be a huge army, 1.9 million Russians, 2 million North Korean, with high technological weaponry, which Russia continue modify, with very developed electronic warfare, drones technologies, AI technologies, with Iranian drones and with support of Iran and other countries which support them quietly, without any political loud announcements. Unfortunately, there is forming a huge power in sense of armies, in sense of industrial military production. They can produce now a huge quantity, millions of artillery rounds. They may produce dozens of thousands missiles. They can produce hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of drones. So even all together, NATO allies can produce such a quantity of weaponry as for now. So this is a challenge. We need to increase this production. We need to implement all modern technologies, AI, electronic warfare, drone, all possible drone technologies with different new functions and capacities.
Do you believe that President Putin will ever come to the negotiating table?
I won't believe this. I won't believe so, but we need to all together create the conditions when Putin will need to go to the negotiations. In other way, if we will not create these conditions, no sanctions pressure, no enough weaponry for hold front line to Ukraine, so Putin has no reason to stop this war. So we need to create these conditions, and then we will see Putin on the negotiation table.
And those conditions are currently not being created?
As for now, not yet. We need to work together, increase sanction pressure. We need to have all needed weaponry, and we actually announced and we asked partners for additional $6 billion for this year for 3 kinds of drones. FPV drones, to have advantage on the front line, because as for now we have the same quantity of FPV as Russia has. We need interceptor drones to protect our sky and sky of Europe from Russian Shaheeds, and we need deep strike drones and deep strike missiles to continue pressure on Russian military production infrastructure, on Russian refineries, and we need to do so because in other way Russia will not go to the negotiations.
Ukraine has always, throughout this conflict over the last few years, been very clear about what it needs and what Western allies need to do in order to bring this war to an end. And you talk about maximum pressure should put Vladimir Putin in a position where he needs to come to the negotiating table, not because he wants to. Yet that's not happening. Why?
We are continue to be very clear. We always very clearly and openly told to our partners what we need to finish this war, to stop this war. Now partners believe us that we have a trust between us and we have unity between us. So
including
now,
Donald Trump?
Now our cooperation is much more coordinated, much more fast. So I believe that this year we will have some very concrete results. Or we will bring Putin to the negotiation table, or partners will increase sanction pressure, and Ukraine will have more weaponry, more finances for drone production. So I'm sure, and I believe that it will happen this autumn.
Has President Trump given a timeline of when he might do that?
I have this information. So,
Defense Minister, really grateful for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.